Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is going to be a lovely little stretch, but we're also going to do some movement and some more yin practice. So yin meaning more of that stillness, more of that breathing through those deeper stretches. What do you need for this? I'm going to utilize a small pillow. You can also use towel rolled up. You can use a blanket. If you have yoga blocks, you do not need them. You can have them. And then a strap band or towel to assist with one of our hamstring stretches. Okay, so we are going to start in the seated position, so you can make your way there. I like to be propped up. My hips are typically tight, so this allows those knees to try to fall a little bit deeper than the hips. So it's kind of sitting closer towards the edge of your block. Okay, so sitting in that comfortable position. I didn't start my timer here. This is so I don't stretch with you guys for 9 hours. We can do that. Okay, so sitting in a comfortable position. You can also be seated on a stool or a chair as well. Okay, we're gonna bring ourselves into this place, time, and moment by just connecting with your breath. So sitting in a neutral spine, maybe it's dropping your chin just slightly. Sometimes we have our head tilted back. We want to take that pressure to the cervical spine. Take your hands to your lap in whatever way is comfortable for you. If you want to take it more into a meditative place, maybe it's taking the peace finger and the thumb towards one another, palms facing up. And then we'll just close our eyes. We're going to do our breath today with an inhale of 4, a hold for 4 at the top, and then an exhale for 6. So close your eyes. Take a breath in for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Carry that breath on. We're going to do 3 more cycles just as you are. 4 counts to inhale. Pause at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 counts to exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Do that again. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. One more time. Breath in for 4. Hold. Exhale for 6. So good option to keep those eyes closed. Hopefully you feel a little bit more stillness, a little bit more relaxed. Option to keep the eyes open or closed. Drop your right ear over towards your shoulder and then sweep the neck down to center, left ear over to left shoulder. So you want to think of those shoulders down and back, and then we're just going to continue on with that downward side to side action with the neck. Sweeping it from right to left, noticing how the shoulders, how the traps, how the neck feels as you go from right to left. The next time you're over to your right, we're going to stay there. So pause. Think of right ear, right shoulder. Think of right shoulder, left shoulder down. If holding here feels good, you can also take the right hand to the top of the head, left fingertips down, or back of the hand towards the low back, or just sit in that stillness with that ear dropping down to the shoulder, breathing here. You can utilize that same breath scheme breathing throughout the whole stretch today, or if it feels just better for you to come to your natural breath. But making sure that you're staying mindful of how the body's feeling within the breath and within the physical self. Take that neck down, chin down towards the chest, rolling to the left, and then back to the right. So we're going to go into that movement portion again, and then into the hold for the other side in a moment. Keep going from right to left. Pull the shoulders down. Close your eyes or keep them open. Movement in slow. Okay, the next time you are over to the left side. Hold there. Pull the shoulders down and back. Left ear to left shoulder. Option to take the left hand up, right fingertips down, or back of the hand towards that low back. Choosing what feels good for you. And just hang out and breathe. Sometimes we lose the breath and it becomes short, allowing that massive expansion through the body as you inhale. And maybe that calmness and letting go as you exhale. Okay, from here, we're gonna take that that head all the way back in through center. Just take a look up for a moment and then a look down. So you're just getting that whole range through the neck. One more time up, opening up the neck, and then exhale to release that. Okay, if you are seated on any props, you can just move those off to the side. We're gonna come into bottom legs. So like that butterfly pose, the soles of the feet come together. We're gonna get it a little bit into the hips here. Okay, so you can take those hands to the ankles. And just for a moment, we're just gonna come into a cat and cow variation. So proud chest, pulling the shoulders back, taking that gaze slightly up, and then exhale to round. So you'll notice that once the pelvis is under, maybe those hips let go a little bit. Do that a couple of more times. Breath in to come up. Exhale to round. Tucking that pelvis under, dropping chin to chest. Maybe even feeling a stretch through those shoulders as we round as well. Two more. Breath in to come up. Exhale to round. One more time. Breath in to come up. And exhale to round. From here, come back to a neutral spine. Take the right hand in behind you. Take the left hand towards that right knee. You're coming into like a little twist. Don't make this forceful. You don't want to feel that into the low back. Think of knees downwards. Think of maybe taking it to a 45-degree here. Just a slight twist. We're not hanging out here for too long. Big breath in, big breath out. And then twist to the other side. Left hand comes in behind. Right hand comes towards that left knee. That slight twist, nothing super forceful here. Pull the shoulders down. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Come back through center. You're gonna try to fold forward here. Okay, so maybe your fold looks like mine. Not very far. Hips are feeling maybe tight. Try to walk those fingers. If you have something in front of you that you can hold on to pull, place to be perhaps. Otherwise, you're just trying to fold over those legs. The back can be straight, the back can be rounded. We're gonna transition into straddle. So if you don't feel like you're getting very far here, that's okay. Just focus on the hips. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, slowly coming back up through center. Extend the left heel out. Extend the right heel out. Okay, so you're in that nice seated straddle position. What we are going to do here is we're going to sweep around from right to left. So we're going to think of that nice little movement. So if you take the hand, right hand behind you, reach left hand towards right toes, and then you're going to sweep those arms in front. The left hand comes beside you, right hand towards, sweeps through left toes. And every time you're going to try to sweep those arms further in front. If you can touch the toe, the shin, whatever feels good, you're just giving a slight pause from each side to side. Okay, keep going. Focus on the breath. Basically, it's one breath. Exhale, touch. One breath, sweep. Exhale, touch. Keep going with that a few more times. Maybe noticing if you can reach a little bit further as you come to each side to pause. Feels good. Also, I can feel this one when I grab a hold. I feel a nice stretch down through the center of my back as well. One more time from side to side. Thinking of reaching further every time and then making your way back in through center. So take a breath in, tent your fingertips towards the floor, sit nice and tall, lengthen, flex those toes up, and then walk those hands forward, forward, fold here. Now, if you have yoga blocks, you can also take those in front. You have 3 levels to work with, highest, lowest, shortest. Okay, you can also take those forearms there. That's just an additional little bit of support. You can also just keep the fingertips down. In this one, we are trying to lengthen through the spine. So if you are feeling rounded, maybe come out of that stretch a little bit more. It is a hinge from those hips. And we're gonna hang out here for 10 breaths. So sometimes we get frustrated because maybe we can't fold so far. Maybe the hips are tight. Maybe it's the low back. Maybe it's the hamstrings. Lots of components here. When we tune in to the breath and we turn to that more yin, compassionate holds, we want to just be with the body, be with the breath, and know that that stillness and that release is good for us, both physically and mentally, sometimes emotionally as well. Keep breathing. Keep holding. Keep flexing through the toes. Keep lengthening through the spine. Again, your fingertips can be down here. Also a great place to close your eyes. Then you're not looking around at all the things, having those distractions, taking 2 more cycles of breath just as you are. Maybe seeing if you can go a little bit deeper. One more breath. That might have been 3 for you. That's okay. All right, slowly and mindfully making your way out of that straddle. Okay, so if you had those blocks, you can slide those out of the way. Take those legs forward together. So that's often quite intense for those hips. So if you want a windshield wiper, you can also bend through those legs. You can give them a little shake, a little shimmy, whatever feels good for you. We're going to slowly transition into a tabletop position. Okay, so getting a little bit deeper into the spine here. Spread your fingers nice and wide, shoulders stacked over the wrists, toes tucked or untucked, whatever feels better and more stable for you, yourself and the ankle mobility. Close your eyes, coming into some nice slow cat and cows. Big breath in to lift the gaze, lift the tail. Exhale to round. Move mindfully, move segmentally through the spine. Breath in. So because we've been in this yin practice for about 10 minutes, your mind should be more still. The body should be good to go slow, good to hold. Keep going there. Big breath in. Close the eyes. Maybe you're taking a pause at either ends of your cat and cow as well. Those are great options. We're going to go for 1 more full series. Big breath in. Exhale to round. And then from there, come back to your neutral table. Take your knees to touch, taking them towards one another. Untuck your toes, take your hips back towards your heels, and then walk your hands forward. Now, if you have a pillow or a block, anything, towel, we're going to come and hold our child's pose. So maybe it's tenting those fingers, creating a diamond with the fingers. Sorry, not tenting them. Did I say tenting them? Taking your hands like this. Maybe it's taking those elbows out wide. Maybe for you, it's taking those arms by your side and letting those shoulders round forward. So this is where you want to get comfortable, again, because we're going to stay here for about 8 breaths this time. So maybe it's supported with a cushion block, towel, something. I'm going to switch to my pillow, taking my forehead down. You can also take your head to the side if that feels better for you. Close your eyes once again, finding that shape where you can really round through the back. Think of breathing space into the low back. Think of those shoulders rounding forward if your arms are by your side. If the arms are up overhead, and still breathe that space into the shoulders, into the back body. If you did have your head to the side, switch it to the other one. We're about halfway through our breaths. So if you had your head turned to the right, turn it to the left, or if you're still in center, you can stay there. Breathing that space into the low back, into the hips. Taking one more big inhale here. And exhale. Slowly coming out of that child's pose, making your way up to tabletop. We're gonna come into a low lunge. So you can come up onto those knees. We'll take that right foot forward. Now, if you have any knee sensitivity, there's an option to place a towel or a little pillow underneath of that left knee. I'm gonna take that option today. Okay, so we're gonna come forward and back. So hands towards that knee to come into a nice low lunge. Getting into the hips here. Exhale, take the hips back, forward fold, fingertips down by your side, flex the toes. So a little rocking action, going slow. Coming into your low lunge, close your eyes, sink deep into the hips, exhale, hamstring or calf splits, forward fold over that right leg. Flexing the toes and then allowing that foot to come to the floor. Again, going slow. So this is our little movement portion. Okay, and you will guess that we're going to come into a hold momentarily. We're just prepping those hips, prepping the low back, prepping the hip flexor. Going forward and back one more time. Mindful. Again, eyes can remain closed or open, whatever is better for you. Okay, from here, we're going to come forward. Okay, you're going to heel toe your foot out to about just past the right shoulder. Turn it to a 45 degree to the toes. Take those hands down in front of the body, okay, so that the hands are underneath the shoulders. If you have yoga blocks, great option to have those blocks below the shoulders. We are in lizard. Maybe you need to heel toe that foot into a more comfortable position. If you have those yoga blocks, you can maybe choose a level for those blocks to be for the forearms. If you don't have blocks, stay up on those hands, that's totally fine. What you'd like to focus on here is the right knee pulling away from the center. If the right knee is resting against your body in any way, the arm or the inside of the right ribs, you can push that knee away, but keep the foot flat. Okay, so this one, maybe not super comfortable for everyone. We're not gonna hang out here too long, but I do want you to focus on that breath. So maybe coming back to that 4-4-6 count. Staying here for about 3 more cycles of breath. On the hands, on the forearms, propped on blocks. One more big breath in wherever you are. If you were on props or forearms, make your way to your hands. From here, we're gonna bring those hands underneath of the chest, press the hips back, keep that foot wide, flex the toes, round through the spine, take those hips back, drop the chin and head down, round here. Breathing here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Okay, take that right knee back to meet the left. Come on to the right knee, left foot forward. Again, if you need that little cushion or support for that right knee, feels so good for those hips. Okay, so we're gonna come into that movement portion again, sinking deep into the left knee, taking hands there, and then exhale, forward fold over the left. Hands drop towards the side, flex through the toes. Again, you're going mindful and slow here at a pace that feels good for you. You can pause at any time as well. Forward and back. Utilizing the breath. Maybe it's pairing it with the movement. Always feels so good. Sinking into those hips, prepping the hips and low back, coming into lizard in a moment. You're going to take it forward and back one more time. Taking it forward, taking it back. Good. And this time when you come forward, stay there for a moment. Heel toe the foot out towards the left side of your space. Slight turn out of the left foot, and then taking those hands down to the floor, to some blocks, to the forearms, noticing how it is for you, your hips, your body. Take any moments here if you need to maneuver either leg, either foot. Once you feel supported and set, make sure the left knee is opening away from the body. And we come back to that breath. We hang out here. I usually pair it with a breath. Some instructors will also just do it to time. So we might say, okay, 10 cycles of breath is roughly about 3 minutes of work. If you're going nice and deep into that breath, maybe it's 2 minutes. I don't know. It's different for every body and buddy, everybody. It's funny how we say that. Again, you are on the hands, the forearms, the left toes are pressing down. We're breathing space into those hips. About 2 more cycles of breath, just as you are. One more deep inhale. And exhale. If you were down onto those forearms, if you were up on those blocks, slide those out of the way. Take those hands back slightly into the chest. Press the hips back. Keep the left foot wide, coming into that rounded position, coming high in the fingertips, rounding through the spine, puffing up the shoulders, dropping the chin and head down. Breathing there, really flexing those left toes. Take one more breath in. So good. Draw that left knee back in. Let's give ourselves one little child's pose to just counter stretch that. Take those knees again towards one another, coming into that narrow child's pose. Walk the hands forward. We're only going to stay here for about 2 cycles of breath. One more time. Big inhale. And exhale. And then from here, making your way up and through, we're going to make our way onto our back. Option to have that pillow, and you can have your head rested. We're going to get into the hips and hamstrings just a little bit more. You will not need blocks for this portion. So if you were using blocks, you can move those off to the side. But what you would need is a yoga strap or a resistance band or a towel. Okay, so we're going to make our way onto our back. So we're going to just take a moment here, bend those legs, plant those feet, take the feet about hip distance or shoulder distance apart, and then take the knees in towards one another. Okay, so once the knees come to touch, maybe the feet want to move out slightly, a little bit wider. Notice how this feels for the hips and for the low back. Your hands can be anywhere. If that means arms out to the side, if you feel good resting your hands on your belly, take them there. Just close your eyes for a moment. So oftentimes if the low back is tight, it could stem from the quads or the hip flexors or the hips themselves being tight. So laying like this often will release some of that tension. This is a very supported position to be in for those hips as well for the low back. Taking one more breath. And exhale it out. From here, grab whatever type of prop you're going to use. We're going to start with the right leg. So you can take those legs apart from one another, take your prop, wrap it around the sole of the right foot, and then press that right heel up. So for this first one, you have the option to keep that left leg bent. If it feels better to extend that left leg long, you can also take it there. From here, we're just going to come into a point and flex of those toes. So that dorsiflexion to extension. Okay, so pulling the toes in, getting that nice length through the backs of the legs, pointing those toes, maybe getting a stretch through the front of the ankle and shin. So taking that slow, So we're in our movement portion here. Point and flex. Point and flex. Noticing how it feels to the back of the leg as well, even into the low back. Okay. Choosing here if you want to stay in that flexion or extension. Okay, we're going to hang out here. Now, add that little bit of tension to your band or straps that you do feel that stretch through the hamstring. So if you were more out this way, working on your point and flex, that's fine. Try to add a little bit of tension for those arms. Close your eyes, relax your face, and relax your back. Breathe here. Big breath in. And big breath out. One more time. Breath in. And out. Now from here, you're going to take your right leg over to the left about 4 inches, back through center, out to the right 4 inches from that center position. So it's kind of like a little tick-tock, and it's not very big, but you might start to notice it. If the hips and glutes are tight, you might start to feel that as you take it from right to left. Again, I said 4 inches, maybe it's 8 for you. It's fine. You just don't want that full range from right to left. That's not what we're working on. We're just kind of prepping in that hip socket. You might feel this through the calf, through the ankle, through the hamstring, hip, glute, low back, lots of places. The toes want to be slightly pulled in here, side to side. And then from here, you're going to take your right hand out towards the side, left hand stays on your prop, that right leg comes over to the left side. What's important is that right shoulder remains down on your floor, on your mat, okay? And we're going to get that nice cross stretch here for that right leg. Keep those toes in flexion, and we're going to hang out and hold here for about 2 minutes, 8 to 10 cycles of breath here. Breath in, and big breath out. If it feels better for you, if you want to completely remove your prop and just come into a regular twist, which we often do in our stretches, you can take it there. This one I find just gets a little bit deeper when you have that leg in full extension. You feel it in different places. We're breathing here into that hip, into the back. Big breath in and out. Close your eyes, connect to the physical body, connect to your breath. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Giving yourself about 2 more cycles of breath wherever you are. Next breath in. Draw that right leg back in through center. Ooh, that was intense. Okay, you're going to switch your leg, switch your prop. So left, not your prop. You're going to keep your prop. Switch your legs. Okay, so that right leg is going to come out. And man, oh man, does that feel good. Okay, so both of those hands are on your prop. Right leg can be bent to start or extended out, whatever feels good for you. And it should feel like it's got some more space after that work that we just did for that side. So we're going to come back into that flexion and extension. So remember, your leg can be, it doesn't have to be pulled in for this part. We can have that foot directly over that hip, or maybe it's even away from the hip slightly. But you're working on pointing through that toe and then flexing through that foot as much as you can. And it feels good. Okay. We do want stretching to feel nice. Like often, obviously, if you do have a lot of tightness or a lot of tension, we really have to focus more on that breath and that release work. But breathing definitely helps. Okay, from here, choosing whether you're going to stay in that extension or flexion position. This is where we're going to add a little bit of tension on your prop, pulling that leg inwards here, feeling more of that stretch through the back of the left leg. We hang out and breathe here. Closing the eyes, relaxing the face, the jaw, breathing into the low back. Take one more cycle of breath here. And out. From here, we take that little rock from right to left. So again, I said 4 inches, maybe it's 5, 6, 7, 8 for you. It's nothing massive. The pelvis should stay pretty neutral here. There should be no movement other than the arms guiding that left side, left to right. So again, we're just prepping. You might feel this through the inner thigh hamstring, calf ankle, all of the places. I'm just focusing on that breath, tuning in. Right to left. Amazing job. Good. From here, we take the prop you're using into the right hand. The left arm comes to that nice wide T, and that band, strap, or towel guides you over to that twisted position. Left leg comes to the right, right here. Close your eyes, left shoulder is rooted. Again, feeling that stretch through many places. Likely, I feel more through the glute, the hip, and the inner thigh for the left side for myself. Also a little bit even into the calf, depending on how extended that leg is for you. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Keep your breath moving slowly and mindfully. A couple more cycles wherever you are. Last breath in. Full exhale out. Bring that leg back up through center slowly. Bend your right leg, plant your right foot. Undo your strap. Release that off to the side. From here, take your feet nice and wide. Drop your knees over to the right. Feeling that nice little stretch, external, internal for those hips. Just a pause there for a moment. And then we'll bring those knees back up through center and drop them over to the left, and then pause there for another moment. Beautiful. Draw those knees back up through center. I would recommend dropping those knees in towards one another, or taking it into a shavasana for yourself, taking the legs out to extended, taking those arms out by your side, and just giving yourself a couple more moments for that breath work wherever you are. You should have felt some good release there. Also some great connection for the breath and the body. Take your time if you're going to get up with me. I'm going to fully jump off, but you can remain as you are and enjoy that stillness, that time for yourself. That was just over 30 minutes of some beautiful breaths, some beautiful yin practice, some movement, but as well with some lovely stillness. I hope you all enjoyed. See you soon.